Hello, welcome. This is My Consultant. On today's episode, we're going to share the new drop in Canada's immigration backlog, followed by the Canadian Armed Forces banned lift for permanent residents. Next, Canada's growing employment rate. Stay with us as I bring light to a virtual reality program to help our newcomers. And Tina will highlight the Government of Canada's plan to ease the health labor shortage.
Canada's immigration backlog continues to decrease. According to the recent data released by IRCC, the number of pending applications has reduced to just over 2.2 million from 2.4 million last month. The report showed reduction in the backlog of temporary residence and citizenship applications, while the permanent residence applications showed a slight increase. According to IRCC, between January and October 2022, they produced 4.3 million final decisions for permanent residence, citizenship, and temporary residence applications, compared to 2.3 million final decisions in the same period last year. IRCC says that it is taking steps to improve the speed at which applications are processed. It aims to have a less than 50% of backlogs across all lines of business by the end of March 2023.
In the latest effort to boost Canada's military recruitment numbers, permanent residents are now eligible to apply to join the Canadian Armed Forces. No previous foreign training necessary. Until now, permanent residents in Canada could only sign up if they were a skilled professional trained by a foreign military. But the federal government is now broadening the applicant acceptance pool. The Department of National Defense says joining the military can help permanent residents gain citizenship, in part because their applications are given priority by immigration officials. It is estimated that the Armed Forces is down roughly 8,000 to 10,000 people from its assigned strength of 71,500 regular forces personnel and 30,000 reserves. It's said that the military did have a plan to boost recruitment numbers of soldiers, sailors, and aircrew before the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020. But with their reputational issues stemming from a number of high-profile sexual misconduct cases, they were unsuccessful in their recruitment goals, which is believed to have led to their current shortfall of soldiers, sailors, and aviators. The Defense Department's Director General of Defense Security, the DGDS, has indicated that permanent residents should expect to face a more intensive security screening process. This will include a pre-assessment to determine their eligibility. Their screening will determine if the applicant has spent more than 180 days outside of Canada within the last 10 years, and whether they have visited specific countries that might present security risks. The Armed Forces have also been pushing for greater diversity in its ranks, with targeted recruitment of underrepresented groups, and efforts to create a more inclusive workplace by doing things like easing dress rules.
Canadian employment grew again. The economy added 10,100 jobs in November, while the unemployment rate dipped to 5.1% as the participation rate fell. According to the latest labor force survey released by Statistics Canada, women between 24 and 54 years of age experienced a rise in the rate of employment of 0.4%. Among recent immigrants, core working-aged women who immigrated to Canada over the last 5 years saw an employment rate of 69.7% last month. This represents the highest employment rate for recent Canadian immigrant women of core working age in the last 16 years. The employment rate among core working age Canadians rose 0.8% year over year to 84.7%. This indicates that newcomers to this country will continue to have more opportunities to work in Canada, while also seeing increased earning potential over time.
Assimilating into Canadian culture can be a challenging journey for our newcomers, especially those who speak little to no English. But a new pilot project at the University of Toronto is looking to change that. Using virtual reality, a pilot project at the Mississauga UFT campus is helping those who are new to Canada learn English by allowing them the opportunity to practice their skills. The program uses simulated scenarios that mirror real-life situations to help newcomers with things such as job interviews, shopping, even ordering food at a restaurant. The 3-year pilot project has been shown to not only help with learners' comprehension and speaking skills, but also their confidence. With the help of virtual reality, they will get the opportunity to practice English terms and phrases in places like banks, grocery stores, and job interviews. The project, which has a budget of about $515,000, is funded in part by the Ministry of Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada and the university. It was developed by the U of T Mississauga's Language Studies Department in conjunction with the Syrian Canadian Foundation. The study started in December 2021 and runs 8 weeks at a time until March 2024. By then, the project will have studied around 135 students. The language program runs every Saturday at the U of T campus in Mississauga. This fall, the university is holding 2 VR classes per week. There'll be 12 students per class, with around 50 students in total for the whole project. Classes are divided between standard language classes with and without VR. In the 3-hour class period, teachers will start with a lesson before students use VR headsets in role-play segments with newly learned material. The project uses Oculus Quest or MetaQuest headsets, which are standalone VR headsets capable of displaying different environments and settings. The current program wraps up later this month and resumes January 2023.
Canada's healthcare sector is facing critical labor shortage, and the country needs qualified workers to fill up these vacancies. To help address these issues, the Government of Canada is investing in projects that will give foreign educated professionals the support and the experience to pursue opportunities in the areas where Canada needs their skills the most. Canada is investing up to $90 million in these projects to help foreign educated and skilled immigrants to gain Canadian work experience in their own profession or field of study. These projects will have to focus on one of the 3 main ways of improving foreign credential recognition, including reducing barriers to foreign credential recognition for internationally educated healthcare professionals by improving recognition processes, simplifying steps in credential recognition, and offering increased access to practice in the field. Providing internationally educated healthcare professionals with Canadian work experience relevant to their intended fields of work, while incorporating wrap-around supports for participants such as childcare and transportation, as well as mentoring and coaching. Or facilitating labor mobility between jurisdictions in Canada for healthcare professionals and internationally educated healthcare professionals to reduce the systematic and administrative barriers for healthcare professionals who wish to work in other jurisdictions in Canada. Organizations have time until January 30th, 2023 to apply for funding for their proposals. Development, testing, and implementation of credential recognition systems with a focus on streamlining regulatory processes and harmonization of occupational requirements to improve the foreign credential recognition process or interprovincial labor mobility, and provision of employment supports such as wage subsidies, work placements, and mentoring to internationally educated healthcare professionals to help them integrate into Canadian labor market. Canada is currently struggling with critical labor shortage. It is because major section of its workforce has either retired or will be retiring in the next couple of years. With unemployment rate increasing to 5.1%, Canada currently faces nearly 1 million job vacancies. In the past few months, Canada has lost around 35,000 jobs in healthcare due to people getting retired. Multiple occupations are facing critical labor shortage, such as nurses, paramedics, medical technologists, therapists, and physicians. Immigration Minister Sean Fraser says that the call for proposals is aimed at tackling healthcare labor shortages and underemployment of internationally trained healthcare professionals. The government will put $90 million towards projects that provide Canadian work experience to internationally trained healthcare professionals. The minister further says that immigrants make up about a quarter of healthcare professionals in Canada. But according to a 2020 Statistics Canada report, skilled newcomers are underutilized in the healthcare sector. 47% of skilled newcomers with a health education from abroad are unemployed or underemployed with a non-health job that only require a high school education. Immigration seems to be the right approach in resolving healthcare labor shortage. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us this week. If you really like this video, then please support us by subscribing to our My Consultant YouTube channel. For more information on the topics covered today, you can visit our website myconsultant.ca, where you can also find an authorized immigration and citizenship consultant. I am Tina Batra.
And I'm Shan Thompson, and we'll see you next week.